I'm giving this movie an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I thought it was fantastic. Weird, but fantastic. Here's my 28 year stuff. I've never seen any of the other two.
Oh.
I really want to watch the other two now. You didn't really need to watch them to understand this. I kind of got it. Like, I understood what was happening.
Yeah.
I understand what the virus is. Like, I was chilling. Like, I didn't feel like I was missing anything. I was just like, oh, I get it. Visually, this movie's great.
It was
the fact that this movie was
bro.
shot on an iPhone 16 or iPhone something, one of the iPhones.
It's not that it is shot on an iPhone for sure. They took the camera lenses of those
and
iPhones,
they built rigs out of them.
Built rigs out of it, yeah. So technically yes, but
iPhone camera.
Yeah.
Crazy. I will say, minor gripe. I didn't love the action scenes. I didn't like the whole like shooting this on, and then like the weird like.
I loved it.
Kill. I be honest? I think that's like a style for a lot of people that a lot of people like. It felt very old and like very unique. I just didn't like it. Yeah. Like I was just like, this feels weird to me. Like it sort of took me out of the intensity a lot of the time because I just sort of seemed a little wacky. Like it seemed off. But anyways, that's it. I love the characters. Spike. I love Spike. Dude. That kid, I have his actor's name because he has a bright future. I lost it.
Wait a minute.
Alfie Williams. You killed it. What?
Wait a minute. Is this the kid?
From, all right, if you're saying he's the kid from
Is
that
he the
one
kid
show on
from
Netflix.
Adolescence?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
I got lit for a
He
second.
looks like him, but he doesn't have anything. So.
My bad. I thought it was him.
He does look like him. I don't blame you because I had that thought while I was watching the movie. But
Spike on this.
Alfie Williams, can I be honest? He outshines everyone. Like this kid outacts Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's not really in it, but he outacts his mom. Even though his mom, who's his mom's actress? She freaking killed it too. Yeah, the performances here were so good.
Jodie Comer, I believe.
She killed it. She was so good in this movie.
She's really good.
Aaron Taylor Johnson did a great job too. I loved the relationships. I loved all the dynamics. I loved. I don't want to spoil it too much. I was about to spoil it. Like I was actually so close to it because I'm gonna say something later. But I loved all the characters. They were all very well done. The reveals were great. This movie was paced fantastically. It was weird. It like did a thing that I was like, what the heck? I don't get it. It was great. And I love the world so much too. I like a lot of the zombie stuff. Zombies.
Yep.
They were all really cool and very unique and different. And this movie, I will say, isn't your average zombie movie. It's very different. And it's doing things that are different. And we'll get into that in a second. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And I walked out with, I actually watched it with my brother's girlfriend, and she was like, this was really weird. I don't think she liked it that much, but she was like, this is really weird. I was like, yeah, it was weird, but I really liked it. Like I was just really into it the whole time. But I want to get more into spoilers, but I want you to say, Phil, what did you think?
Yeah, real quick too, like that was how I felt, so that's why I gave my review my score was a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
It was a 7 out of 10, but I still really liked the way it looked, what it was trying to do, because as I understand, this is like the start of a new trilogy.
They're making another one. Another one comes out in January.
In January. And I didn't know that. I was upset for a second because I was like, wait, so now I got to wait a whole 2-3 years whenever you're going to make it again?
You know, I didn't know they were making another one. So this movie ended, and I was like...
Oh, wait, no, I did know.
I was like, oh, like, honestly, I'm cool with me never getting another one. But then they announced the second one. I was like, oh, I need more of Spike.
Yep, but... Like, you named all those actors, but the person who stole the show for me, like the whole movie, was Ralph Fiennes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Him coming in.
He did do a good job. His was really good, yeah.
I loved his character, bro. But I really, like, everything you said was exactly how I felt. Like, I loved the way it was shot. I loved the lighting of certain situations. I just loved the lighting overall. I loved how everything looked. Like, it looked colorful, but at the same time dull. And I don't know how, like, everybody's like, how does that make sense? It just makes sense to me, bro. It was colorful and dull at the same time.
I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's colorful by, like, the actual lighting, but dull because everything's so barren.
Exactly.
Like, everything's gone. Like, there's nothing there.
But it's just so weird because, like, I saw the first two movies, 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later, and I was okay with it. I like days more than weeks. Weeks was kind of... Weeks was kind of there. Weeks was kind of there, but it introduced a new concept of how all this stuff works that plays into, I guess, a little bit of years later. But I really do like this world, and I like how this is a different type of zombie thing. Because the cool thing to me is you can't even be around these zombies because they spit blood, and if the blood gets on you or even around
anything,
you, it can turn you into that rage virus or something. And I thought that was cool. I was like, oh, these things are dangerous, and they run. They run. They aren't just like they sprint. That is the scariest thing ever because it's not like they're dead. They're just they're people with more rage in them.
Yeah.
Oh man, but 28 years later was super good, man.
Very good.
It was super good.
You want to get into spoilers?
Yep.
Spoilers? Okay. Off the jump. I love that this movie like changes what it is.
Yep.
Like midway through the movie, where at first it's just like Spike in Aaron Taylor Johnson's character like going out and like getting his first kill, whatever. And then after it becomes a what kind of story do you call it? Like a Logan or a Last of Us, where you're escorting, like an escort mission. Yeah. It becomes an escort mission, but they flip it on its head, which I love because usually it's adult kid. Yep. Adult escorts kid. Kid escorts adult for whatever reason, not that I know of, has ever been done before. And it's great.
Oh, yeah.
And it
really good.
adds so much. I think it adds a lot of tension because, Spike isn't the most capable kid. Like, he's still learning and he's struggling a lot. But it has that, like, emotional weight to the fact that it's his mom and he's desperately trying to figure out what's wrong with her. Can I be honest? I sort of figured what was wrong with her. At first, I thought she was a zombie. Yeah. And then, like, this might sound sad, but with a lot of, like, brain problems in my family that I've experienced, a lot of things that were happening to her, I was just aware of. So I was like, oh, like, she probably either has some form of, like, dementia or Alzheimer's, or she has cancer. Yeah. Like, for sure. And spoilers, obviously, I said that already. That's what she has. Yeah. And that final scene hit, dude. I almost cried.
That was crazy.
It was so well done. Yeah. Because from him escorting his mom and him like laying with her and hanging out, and then them like him like taking her and killing zombies, whatever, and like him like getting better as you watch, like he's doing a better job of like protecting his mom. When you get to the end and he finds out, and you're like really waiting for it to be like this big thing that they're gonna be able to cure, or maybe not cure, but that it's like scary and she's gonna become a zombie or something. And it ends up being the most like human thing that like gets most of us, cancer, and like that's what gets her. Yeah. It felt very anticlimactic, but in like the best way possible. Yeah. Where of course a kid would want to go and do anything he can to save his mom, and end up being the one thing he literally can't do anything. Yeah. He literally can't do anything.
That sucked.
But can I just say this? Everyone knew. Why did no one tell him? Why didn't no one tell this poor kid that his mom just had cancer? Like that would have made everything so much easier. But it's fine. Aaron Taylor Johnson, you're an awful dad. But yeah, I love that so much. And what's the actor's name? Ralph Fiennes. Ray Fiennes. I loved his little like monologue where he's talking about the skull tower and how it's a mix of like the infected and people because we're all the same. Yeah. So good. So powerful. And then when he puts his mom at the top and it's the shot of the sunset and like so good, dude. It's so good. Like I was just like I'm like, wow. This movie is so incredible. I love it. It's currently number 3 on my list out of 12. On my movie of the year list. Oh, okay. It's number 3. I'm obsessed.
What's your number 1?
Sinners.
Thank God. Okay.
Not even a question.
We're good.
It's Sinners, Thunderbolts, this movie 20 years later. Yeah. I loved it so much. I think this movie's incredible. Phil, I want to hear what you think. Give me your spoilers now. Tell me about it. Sorry, I kind of stole it.
Well, first off, the opening where they had that Power Rangers Operation Overdrive Red Ranger that showed up.
And the kid put it down,
I was like, yes, Power Rangers. We need a live action movie. We need a better one.
Spike, you don't like the live action movie?
I like that one, but I want another one.
Rare movies that deserved a sequel. I think
that deserved the sequel.
It did.
It did. It's a 7 out of 10 for me though. But
side tangent.
It deserved it. But what's it called? My bad. I'm sorry. I love Power Rangers.
I do too.
Like, I did not expect. It changed main characters 3 times. it did it 3 times. So the first one, Aaron Taylor Johnson. We're thinking, oh, it's going to be about him. Then you find out he's kind of crappy and you kind of don't like him. So then it switches to the kid, Spike. And then you're going with his mom and you're experiencing all the stuff. And Eric comes in, yada, yada, yada. The funny moments, that was funny.
I can't talk about that. I want to talk about that in a second.
That was so funny. But then you get to the final scene and instantly I knew what this movie was. You get to Jimmy. And you remember Jimmy, right?
It comes back to him. He's from the beginning of the movie. Yeah.
He was the kid at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Who, like I think that's what made me like the movie. Because at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I like it. But then my friend and I were talking through it. And I was like, wait, that is actually really cool. So then like, it's switching characters and showing you different perspectives. But now the next movie is going to be about Jimmy. And then it's going to carry on to another person.
And Spike.
I think that's what it's going to be. But I love how it did that. Because at first I was like, who the hell is this? Why are they weird? Why is everybody weird? Why are they enjoying this? This isn't supposed to be a good moment. Like this kid just lost his mom. But then when I realized that's Jimmy, when he says, hi, I'm Jimmy. And you realize throughout the movie, like he's been there this whole time. He's just been, I don't know where he's been. They'll show us in the second movie. But I just like how you know it's going to be about him because he was the kid at the beginning who runs away from these zombies, goes inside the church, trying to talk to his dad to like leave with him, but his dad's crazy. And then you have him hiding in this little altar or something, talking about, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? And then you see him again at the end of the movie, and his cross is upside down.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Demon Cole.
He probably doesn't believe in him anymore.
No, I thought it was like he's moved to the devil, bro. That's usually what that means. That's what that means.
That's what it means.
They did the. It was a really cool shot actually. They do it with his dad too. When he runs in and the cross is upside down. I don't know if you noticed that. I noticed that immediately and I was like, it's pretty sick.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking like, what if now we're gonna learn about him and what the world has become for him now?
Uh huh.
And they might give us a backstory and everything. I don't know how that.
It's
called the Bone Temple.
Something like that.
Yeah, the Bone Temple, the sequel for the 28 years later. But like, I just like how it changed perspectives over and over again.
I do hope
you had different people getting introduced, and you're like learning what the world is to them now.
I hope with the second one though they don't move away from Spike.
They won't.
Spike. I like him. I like him a lot. And
I think he's going to be our tour guide for the other 2 movies.
I think so too. But I also hope that it doesn't shift focus away from him. Like I kind of want him to deal with more and go through more. And I just thought he was great. I loved him. Really fast. We have 9 minutes. Okay. But I still have a few more things to say.
Go for it.
I have one more thing to say actually. I like some of the world hintage at it. Like I like what do you call it? Like I'm just going to say situational no. Not shown to you, or not told to you, but shown to you kind of storytelling. I don't know what you call it. I can't think of the word. But, like, the island, definitely a cult. Mm-hmm. Very obviously a cult, right? Cult. I love that. Mm-hmm. That, like, that's not, like, a thing yet. Like, that'll probably happen later, where there's something that's going to happen. But, like, them with, like, their paintings that say, like, this is, like, a heaven. And then, like, their masks being all weird and creepy.
Like setup or something?
Yeah, you remember the set? Oh, yeah. I guess like setup, but like.
Yeah. When I saw the mask and how they were dancing around and stuff, I knew like, instantly. Like,
cool.
Spike, you got to get out of there.
Yeah, Spike, get out of there. I like that a lot. I love the touch. Okay, I like it and I didn't like it. I like the zombie getting pregnant, and that was nasty, by the way. And it having like a normal baby.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that Spike. I didn't like that he gets rid of the kid, because. Now, I don't know if we're going to see more of that. I want to know. Look, I think that's what, like, wait till the second one. We'll see what happens. I want to know what's going to happen with that. Because that's different. That's weird. That shouldn't be happening. And then I love, like, the alpha. Like, I like that.
That was crazy.
You know the shot of the alpha when he's, like, standing there on, like, the hill and he's just watching?
That was scary.
Dude, and then he's just running, bro. I love that scene so much when he's running. So good. I want to understand how this might be like the other one thing. How do they like control animals like that? Like, why do all the animals herd? Like they're like when all the deers show up and that's how it tells you like there's zombies coming, or like the crows with the alpha.
You gotta watch 28 Days and Weeks Later because they kind of dive into that.
That would make sense then. I was like, that's really sick detail. Mm-hmm. Now I want to just really fast talk about Eric with our last like 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really cool touch because I didn't know that there's other countries that are fine.
Yep.
Like there's like nothing. Like he was like, I could have been a delivery driver.
Yeah.
And he's like, huh? And he's like, you don't know what that is. Like they drive a car. You still don't know what that is. And he's like, I don't know, it's so funny. And then he's showing the picture of his girlfriend, and he's like, why does she look like that? And he's like, look like what? She's beautiful. He's like, no. There's someone on my island. Whenever they eat shellfish, they get like all their lips puffed. He's like, all right, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. That was so weird
funny,
to me.
bro.
It was very disorienting. It was very random. I was like, what the heck? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you have a phone? Like, I thought everyone was dead. But yeah, it is setting up. I think this is gonna end with Spike. Spike's gonna get out, hopefully, God willing. I hope Spike's, but justice for Spike. But yeah, I love the movie so much, dude. It was great.
If you do watch the earlier ones, just be careful of weeks later, because now I'm hearing that apparently they might uncanonize that one.
Oh, because it's not good?
Well, because the director and the writer, I believe, for 28 Years Later were the same ones who did Days Later. They didn't do Weeks Later. That's why I think people love this one.
How director?
I think the first one came out in 2002 or 2003, and then after that, this 28 Weeks Later came out in 2007 or 8.
Danny Boyle, and then 28.
Yeah, they did Danny Boyle, and then I think it's Alex Garland.
Yeah, it is.
Garland.
Wow. Yeah,
they did the first one, 28 Days Later, with Cillian Murphy, and then they did this one, 28 Years Later. Mm-hmm. But that's to get us back into the world, I believe. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I like this movie. Like, that's what made me like it more. Like, this seemed like it was more to help us understand what's going on. Because it's like an appetizer for the meal that we're going to get with these other two movies.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.